Good morning everybody. We've come out into the woods to show you how to put up a tarp. The emphasis is really on the knots rather than tarp setup. There are lots of ways of setting up tarp. I'm not an expert at that. You can find that on YouTube if you want to. I'm really concentrating on the knots because this is knots video 4, I suppose. And the 3 knots we're going to look at are the Taut Tarp hitch, the Evenk hitch and the Guyline hitch, all of which of course are tying to something. The first knot is the Evenk hitch, which was developed by the Evenk people in northern Siberia in Russia, and it was used to tie up reindeer as they were reindeer herders. So we wrap the working end round the tree, we lay the working hand over the palm of our hand and wrap round. We then drop our palm, reach over and bring our thumb through the loop and take hold of the working end and pull that back. Tighten up and tidy your knot. We can then slide that right up to the tree. Now that is a quick release knot, and if I pull on that it will slip. So to lock that off, some people put a twig in there and pull on it. I prefer to reach through, bring the working end through and just pull that tight. So I've got the working end, second loop in there, that's up against there, and we can pull on there, and that's one end of our tarp. Quick release. And one of the reasons for having quick release knots is so we can take our tarp down quickly and easily without having to go round and round the tree. At the other end of your tarp line, you need a taut tarp hitch to tighten it up, to put some tension on it. Some people use a ridge line. Today when I set the tarp up, I'm just using it as 2 guidelines down the centre. It's simpler to show, but you could use it either way you like. Taut tarp hitch. We go round the tree and pull it tight. We then cross the working end over, go back round the tree, and I'm going right way round with it and pulling it tight as I do that. Bring the working end over again, it creates this V. Bring that up through there, and there it is, and again we can pull that with a second loop on, and that can be tensioned up even further if we want, and to let go, to release it, quick release, there we are, and it comes loose. And we'll show that again when we set the tarp up. I'm using the big rope so you can see the movements more clearly. With a small line it's slightly easier to get the tension on. Right, now we're going to look at the Guyline hitch. You need to imagine that this tree is my tent peg, and we wrap it round the tent peg. It comes back up, cross the working end over the standing end, and then we're going to wrap it 3 times round the long line going round there. 1, 2, 3, and you can see you've got 3 wraps there around one of the lines, and this one we now bring round both lines, and we're going to put a bite in there so we've got a quick release mechanism. And there is, if we pull on that one, we can tighten up our guy line, and there's no need for a Guyline runner. Not that they don't weigh much, but I just tend to tie a knot instead. So that is the Guyline hitch. I'm going to get my tarp out now. My tarp is at the top of my pack, which is where you want it. It's just here, inside my dry bag. And you want it at the top of your pack because that's shelter. And in your survival needs, shelter is at the top of the list straight after serious injury. So you want to keep yourself warm and dry. You can die from hypothermia in 3 hours, so you want to make sure that you've got somewhere warm. Put my pegs in my pocket, don't lose them in the undergrowth. start with this line. So we're going to do the Evenk hitch on this tree. Just pull our line out. Properly wrapped up, it should come out without even a knot, and we'll put the Evenk hitch round the tree, tucking the tarp under my arm. So here we're going to tie the Evenk hitch to start the ridge line. It goes round the tree. Here's the working end in my right hand. It wraps round my left hand. My left hand drops sideways and over. My thumb comes through the loop, and I pick up the working end and I pull a loop through, and I pull it tight and then push that towards the tree, and then I can come through there and just tighten a loop back through from the working end. Always tricky to get this to, there it is, it's tightening up now. And there is my Evenk hitch on there with the quick release system. That won't come undone until I want it to. At this end we're going to do a taut tarp hitch. At the far end we have the Evenk hitch tied to that tree. This end we're going to do a taut tarp hitch. So it goes round the tree, pull it tight, cross the working end over the top of the standing end, take it back round the tree. And as you can see, as I do that, it puts tension on that line. At the moment, this line is underneath the rope that goes round the tree. I want to cross it over so it's above it, so it bites against the tree, increasing friction. Bring it back round to the front, pass the working end over, and we have the V. And what we now do is we bring that back up through there with a loop, and then bring a bite through there and pull it tight. And there we have quite a tight rope. I could put more tension on that if I wanted to. And to lock this off, I bring another bite back through that loop and just pull it tight. And there we have a taut tarp hitch with the ridge line now under tension. All we now need to do is to put the guy lines out with a Guyline hitch. Here's the guy line. It's attached at the other end to the tarp. The guy line comes down, goes round the peg. Might just secure that a little bit more. There we go. And we just cross it over to make a loop, and we take the working end and we wrap it round just the first line once, twice and 3 times, and we tidy that up, and we should have 3 loops here. And then we take the working end, we go around both of these, and we feed a bite back through there and pull it tight. And there we have a knot that will slide in both directions and will not slip. And we can put our guy line under tension, and there is our Guyline hitch. So here we have the tarp set up completely. We have the Evenk hitch at that end, we have the taut tarp hitch at this end, and on all 4 guys we've got the Guyline hitch, just bringing the tension up. If I was to sleep under this, I'd probably lower it, but this is about knots and not really about setup for your tarp. I hope you've enjoyed this. God bless you all, and enjoy.